Hello and welcome to today's video where I will be giving you some hot tips and an introduction to improving your sleep pattern. It is my job to present you with some information to help you improve your performance and affect your well-being when playing video games online. If you take at least one thing from this presentation today, then I have very much done my job. Without further ado, let's get into it. So here we go with today's presentation. So for what we know so far with sleep is that you can actually learn as you sleep, and you compress and defrag a bit of data that you may have taken in during the day, and that your natural sleep pattern for the day can be known as your circadian rhythm. This also extends to the week. I remember from my experience in snowboarding that whilst I was training people, they would have a particular day of the week where they would be on fire. This would be their peak day, and it can either sort of level out or even drop on some other afternoons or for the mornings whenever you do decide to take people out. What to do for you and your sleep pattern? First of all, you'll have to find out how much sleep is good for you. Everyone has a different requirement. For example, I like to sleep for about 8 hours, decent bed, and some time to sort of wind down. You need to find what works for you and your routine when it comes to your sleep. Things like apps for your phone or your watch, or pen and paper to just write down how your sleep went, what time you nodded off at, and you can reflect on that later, and you can sort of find a time or a routine that works for you. As soon as you get this, the better you'll be overall. If you get the time or the opportunity, get outside and try some camping with some friends. This is known to reset your body clock, and from there you can assess your sleep and hopefully get back in that rhythm of finding yourself some quality night of shutting off. On average, we are getting about 2 hours less sleep than our ancestors 100 years ago. This means we're not giving enough time and attention to really work on the things that are important to us when it comes to well-being. This includes your sleep. So if you're noticing a consistent trend of you feeling unhappy, underperforming, or perhaps some people are straight up avoiding you, you might just be feeling a little bit sleepy. You might want to catch up on that. This can also extend to your training, and you can measure your reactions or perhaps the quality of your training session to assess whether or not it's in fact your sleep that might be holding you back. One thing that's particularly interesting to look out for is your body will in fact adapt to a lack of sleep. So if you have been consistent in getting bad quality sleep, your mind will actually adapt to that, and you will struggle to get through the day, and it's harder to notice this once it becomes more of a pattern. So even more so, you need to make the effort to perhaps get the extra hour or two in bed and maintain a quality sleep schedule. And in regards to its schedule, that is something you should do right now. You can put pen to paper, you can make a mental note, you can write it in your phone, but you need to find the time that works for you for when you need to go to sleep. What I recommend for you right now is to just stick to a sleep schedule. This can be finding a time that works for you to absolutely dedicate yourself to finding sleep. This does not include using your phone or laptop as free time in your bed. This means you're in your bed, your eyes are closed, you're focusing on getting through to tomorrow. Something that is worth knowing is that fish can help you sleep, and carbohydrates eaten late will actually make you quite restless. So big portions of noodles, rice, bread, these things can bloat you up, and they sort of roll around inside you, and it makes it uncomfortable to sleep. Studies have also shown eating fish is going to help you sleep. And for when you do wake up in the morning, you want to be jumping into the sunlight as soon as possible. This is going to affect your body in ways where it will naturally process the environment and start to do things to wake you up and get you ready for the day. On top of this, I recommend enabling night mode on your monitors and devices right now. This is part of the wind down ritual for you. It won't affect your training. In fact, some people have noticed an improvement when their monitor can change color and they're aiming, they can identify targets. Adjust your settings now so that you know for when it's time, you can start winding down. Personally, I found that I can nap during the day for at least half an hour, and that will actually reset me quite well to get on with the rest of the day, and I feel optimized to complete all my tasks. Again, noticing your bed and dedicating that space for you to sleep. So that means no phone, no tablets. Also talking to your teammates if you're finding yourself having issues with your stress or sleep cycles, you might find that they have technique that works for them, and it might indeed work for you. And if it's all possible, when you do go to sleep, try to clear your mind of any issues you may have encountered during the day. There's nothing you can do about it at this moment. Let the night take care of your problems. Wake up, you get a fresh start the very next day. So in summary to this presentation, I've discovered that no one is getting enough sleep these days. If you want to get a good advantage over your opponents online, get yourself an extra hour of sleep. This means when you're up against it in game, you're going to have more endurance against the enemy team for when it comes to executing your strats. Even if you feel like you're losing, if you keep pushing your opponents, you might well just beat them with sticking to your strategy, working together, and being a little more optimized for your outcomes. And for the end of this presentation, I recommend that you go ahead and make yourself a personal goal to have 1 night of good quality sleep. This might include creating a sleep schedule for yourself, dedicating yourself a bedtime, changing up the diet a bit more, and also becoming a little more active during the day, so that when it does come to that time you need to shut your eyes, you're nodding off within the first 20 minutes or so. So as for the end of this, again, if you've taken at least one thing from this presentation, then I consider that a success. If you wish to hit me up with anything that I can help you with your sleep, performance, or well-being with video games, hit me up here on Discord, and I will be making more videos like this for the future. In the meantime, thank you very much, and I will see you out there.